Did you know that primary foods like career, relationships, fitness, and spirituality are equally important as the foods we eat with a fork? Achieve optimal health with Coach Versandra. Call today.
Believe.
I'm Coach Versandra Kinnebrew, Atlanta's favorite holistic health expert. Tune in to The Witch Doctor, Wednesdays from midnight till 3 a.m. on Night Watch Expressions, WRFG Atlanta, 89.3 FM. Welcome to Health and Healing Chronicles. I am Coach Versandra, your favorite holistic health expert. And once again, we are excited that you have joined us as we share stories that will support you on your journey to health and to healing. And in this episode of Health and Healing Chronicles, we continue our conversation on nutrition, as this is National Nutrition Month. And on last week, we were just so excited about having our sister, Kim Purefoy, or Kim Ballard, as some of you know her, who is the wellness department manager at Seven Nanda Natural Food Market and Co-op. She joined us and gave us a wonderful, wonderful show where we talked about the importance of nutrition for enhanced libido. And it was a great conversation. If you did not catch that, we do invite you to visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/yourwitchdoctor, and just scroll down a little bit and you can click on the link that will take you to the replay. And you will definitely enjoy all of the insightful information that she shared with us, because so many people are concerned with libido, and they are concerned also with sexual dysfunctions. And we know that food is medicine, and that means that nutrition is very, very important to well-being. So we will continue in this topic of nutrition. And this week, I just want to dig in a little bit with the concept of integrative nutrition. And if you have tuned into this program, then you know that I am a graduate and alumni of Integrative Nutrition School, the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, and it is located in New York City. It's a wonderful school that teaches over 100 different dietary theories, which for many would seem like way too much for anyone to even think about understanding or having knowledge of. And, you know, for this not to be a program where you come out with a bachelor's degree in nutrition, it is definitely very intensive. And it gives us all of the tools necessary to support our clients who are dealing with deficiencies in the areas of not only physical nutrition, but also malnutrition in the areas of career, relationships, spirituality, and physical activity. Those are the key areas that we focus on, because we recognize that there is so much more to feeding our bodies than what we put in our mouths with a fork. So tonight, in this episode, we're just going to dig in just a little bit more and make sure that you understand the whole concept of integrative nutrition. Now let's just look at the word integrate. When we talk about integrating anything, we're talking about taking one whole and complete something with another and bringing them together. Generally, it is for the purpose of added benefit. We want people to understand that when we're talking about integrative nutrition, we're talking about different approaches to nutrition. We know that there is your typical system of nutrition where many people go by a guideline that is set by the government that tells you that there are certain things you should be eating on a daily basis. And they have this little, it used to be a rectangle shaped, cone shaped, I guess, if you will. There used to be a guide that had, how much milk, how much cheese, how much vegetables, how much, all the different areas that they say you should eat. And in the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, they decided just around the same time that the government decided to choose a plate to actually show you what you should be eating, because it would seem a common thing or a necessary thing for us to use something that our eyes could see and use as a guideline. And when we're looking at a plate, a round plate that represents what you would put on your plate to eat, when you look at that and you see the portions laid out, then obviously your mind also reflects on that image when you begin to prepare your meals, and you begin to put food in the places on the plate to help you recognize that now I have a balanced meal. And so the plate was derived a few years back. And so Institute for Integrative Nutrition also has a plate. The difference in the plate would be, it's very, very small, but on the outside rim of the plate, it signifies those areas that I just mentioned to you: your career, your relationships, your spirituality, and your physical activity, because they too are very, very important. And I would beg to differ when people say that they are secondary, because when we're looking at the integrative nutrition program, those foods, the career, relationships, spirituality, and physical activity, are literally your primary foods and not your secondary foods. So if you can wrap your mind for just a moment around how much you are fed by the friendships that you have, the loving relationships that you have with your family members, the relationships you have with individuals that you come in contact with on a daily basis, such as maybe, where you stop and pick up your coffee every day, if that's one of your things, or your tea. Maybe even the place where you go and hang out and, maybe play video games or something. How much does that person or those people that you hang with, how much do they feed you? Are they giving you nutrients that are rich, that are healthy, that are causing your organs to function at full capacity? Or are they taking away from your life, your ability to live fully? That's what we're doing when we're looking at this different plate, because sometimes we put those things on the back burner, mainly because they are not enriching our lives, mainly because there may be some imbalance. But then other times it's just because we do not recognize the importance of those other areas in our lives. So as you just think about how your relationships, how your employment, your job, your career, how is that feeding you? How do you feel each and every day when you get up out of bed? Do you jump up with expectancy, getting ready and prepared for your day with, making sure that, you have your clothes and everything all laid out for you. You've got a notepad with your to-do list, things that you want to accomplish, not because it's a chore or anything, but because you know that you are a creator and you can create through the power of divine love anything that you desire. Do you get up grudgingly, wanting to lay back down as soon as you wake up, hitting the snooze button 10 times because you dread getting up out of bed and leaving your home? Well, these are the things that you should look at when you're talking about or considering your nutrition, how well you are being nourished. And then let's look at your spirituality. Are you being fed each and every day by engaging in a spiritual practice as soon as you awaken? Are you meditating? Are you reading spiritual words, divine words? Are you stretching your body and feeling the breath of life moving through you? Are you acknowledging that breath and the fact that without it, you would not even be alive? It's definitely something to think about. And then, as we look at our physical activities, are your physical activities feeding you? Are they nourishing you? Are you moving your body, or are you just accepting the sedentary lifestyle that maybe your career requires of you? Maybe it is that you are expected to sit at a desk for hours on end in front of a computer, and you have just accepted that that is the amount of mobility that your body will experience just because that's how you're being paid? Or do you make sure that as soon as you have an opportunity to walk around and move your limbs and stretch your body, that you take advantage of that? Do you make sure that you choose to walk up the stairs if you're just a couple of flights up on your job or at your home or in your apartment? Do you choose to take the stairs instead of the elevator all the time? Each step that you make as you walk, you are engaging in a meditation of sorts. You are moving your body and acknowledging the wonderful creation that it is. This is what I would like for you to think about as you consider National Nutrition Month. Nutrition is not only the foods that we eat with a fork. They are all of these areas that I have mentioned. And it is up to us to make sure that we are being fed and that we are receiving the nourishment that we so greatly deserve. And not only deserve, we require. Because as human beings, as divine beings of light, we have these temples These temples that we know that the Spirit of God dwells inside of. And we do have a responsibility to care for and nurture these temples. So, as we continue on in this month of National Nutrition Month, I would encourage you to maybe go to my blog, and you will find the Circle of Life there. And the Circle of Life is a, I guess, self-assessment tool, if you will, that allows you to take a look at the various areas of life, of your life, your personal life, and look at them as if, because it is true, as if they are feeding you one way or the other. They're feeding you junk, or they're feeding you something that is of substance. Look at them and find out if you are enjoying a balanced, healthy portion of the good stuff, the best stuff. I'm telling you, it is nothing like having good, wholesome food feeding you each and every day. You're just filled with joy when you awaken every single day. And I am just so happy that as I am coming up on 53 rotations around the sun, that I have enjoyed just such a wonderful, wonderful life. I've just been filled with joy all day long, just gratitude, thinking about what my life has been like as I move into this big celebration coming up on April 7th. I'm calling it V-Day. I've been calling it that for some time now, but hey, V-Day is a very important time for me, because unlike some people who, feel it's a dreaded thing to grow a year older, I actually accept this time as a time to, just be grateful and to reflect and to recognize how truly, truly blessed